Bungie just revealed information about the future of Destiny 2 on Monday, something that players have been eager to learn about since the conclusion of the final shape. Codename Frontiers was briefly announced in mid-June, but we didn't have much to go off besides the title. Scratch that, we had nothing to go off besides the title. There were some vague theories from fans, but nothing conclusive. With this reveal, however, the path forward is slightly more clear. Bungie revealed an entire roadmap for what will be in Year 9 of Destiny 2. Let's take a look. Codename Frontiers will begin in the summer of 2025, most likely around June when we receive the final shape. Whereas the final shape was a single yearly DLC, Frontiers will focus on semi-annual expansions 6 months apart from one another. Codename Apollo, the first expansion, will launch alongside Frontiers, while Codename Behemoth, the second expansion, will launch in winter of the same year. Additionally, within these expansions are seasonal content drops, which will be free for all players. Expansions will contain new story content, destinations, dungeons, raids, and loot, while seasons will include new and reprised activities, artifact mods, activity modifiers, balance updates, and special events. Let's go back to the expansions for a moment, however. Bungie's holding their cards pretty close to their chest, understandably, but they did give us a little information about Codename Apollo. This will be the first expansion of the new semi-annual model, credited as the beginning of the next multi-year saga, and will feature a non-linear story. This means that while all players will start at the same place in the beginning of the story, there will be a little more freedom in what order they experience plot points of the story. Seasons will include a rewards pass, which seems about the same as the battle pass we currently use. There's currently no information that I can find about whether or not this will be free alongside the seasons themselves, but I think it's safe to assume that these will not be free inclusions. Finally, Bungie mentioned that they'll be implementing changes to make Destiny a more approachable experience for all players. Notably, the UI will be going through some changes to be less overwhelming, and activities will have a more customizable difficulty system to help players find the right difficulty for them. So, with all the information out of the way, let's break everything down. Starting with the roadmap, I want to approach with skeptic optimism. Destiny has stuck with the same expansion model for the last few years, and it's gotten stale. A shake-up to the old formula could be refreshing, if it's implemented correctly. While I'm not worried about this with expansion content, seasonal content is another story. Episode 1 hasn't blown anybody away as far as I know. For me, that's because it failed to innovate. When episodes were initially announced, I was under the impression that they would feel as if they had their own identity from seasons, and I feel like episode 1 drastically failed at meeting that expectation. From the same old sloppy 3-player arena down to the weeks of time-gated content, I have trouble determining why there was even a rebrand from seasons in the first place. I'm sure Bungie will go more in depth on what these seasons will contain in the future, but I think it's crucial that they set expectations clearly for what these are going to look like. As for the expansions, and specifically Codename Apollo, I'm excited to see what their non-linear storytelling will look like. This is something that I don't think Destiny has tried yet, which is good because Destiny needs fresh storytelling techniques. I doubt it'll be anything with diverging paths or multiple endings, but the thought of it is cool. Let me dream, damn it. Any changes to the UI and difficulty customization are more than welcome to me. Destiny could definitely use more accessibility, so if these changes make it more accessible to a wider audience, I'm completely on board. While those changes do sound good, however, there's still a problem sticking out like a sore thumb, and that is the new player experience. I'm hoping that the approachability changes will take a serious look at this and give it the revamp it deserves, because it's pitiful right now. While I don't love the timeline missions as a means of catching up old players, I feel like it would at least temporarily help to add some critical missions from past releases, like the Red War, or Warmind, or even the Season of Arrivals to help contextualize the game further than what we currently have. Even if it's just a temporary solution, I believe it would do more good than harm. To close things out, I want to talk about expectations. I feel that it's easy to become blindly optimistic about the future of Destiny when new details become available. I saw this a lot during the reveal of the final shape. A polished product of marketing can easily make fans forget about the dismal times the franchise has been through. So, while I hold hope for the future of Destiny, I do so with skepticism. I know the developers can do incredible work and that they do incredible work, but I also know that Bungie's terrible management can make screw-up after screw-up that leads to even more layoffs. Frontiers and Bungie have a lot of potential to live up to, and I hope they can handle the pressure.